Hello.
Oh, Olo.
Olo. Olo indeedo. Welcome
Oh,
to the Accidentally Made Content Podcast. We done did an oopsies today.
oh, yep,
Yeah, we made content, Jeff. What are we
yep.
gonna do?
Made it all over the floor. Just,
It was a big
it
accident.
was a big accident that made content.
Oh, my screen's doing the thing, Jeff.
This
Literally just, oh, this is beautiful.
this show is about how one of us, this time David, is going to be reading me a story that he came up with a prompt in Chat GPT with, and I get to react to it without having any idea what's about to take place. So I just get to sit here and process the the data.
Let it let it roll over you
Yeah,
as you attempt
abide
to
in it.
keep up with it.
Yes, abide.
Abide with the content.
I am abiding with the content. Wait, no, I need more Princess
One with the
Bride.
content, one with the podcast, one with the content, one with the podcast.
Content. Content is what
Now,
brings
Jeff.
us together today.
Now, Jeff, do you
Uh,
remember how sad your Anakin
yes,
story was?
yes, it was very depressing. It went way darker than I meant to make it happen.
So
Ugh.
we went back and forth about it. Try try and suss out what the heck happened.
Ugh.
Why you broke how you broke ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to send you this episode before it was an episode to try and show you how to fix it.
In the before four.
Even before.
Uh,
Well, Jeff forgot to read this story. So it turned into content.
divine. Yeah. Accidentally.
We're like, oh my gosh, wait, it's a pretty good story. That's how the Bill the Bill Murray one happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was trying to make a point, and then it was just now it's stuck with Jeff forever. He can never escape it.
I will never not have this image of Bill Murray in a polar bear costume laying on the sand and Stilgar leaning over him going, "Are you a demon?" And Bill Murray looks up at him with that like you know how he'll do that like hound dog looking look where his eyes go up and he's kind of droopy
Yes.
looking. Yes, that's the vibe.
Hmm.
Uh,
Dude, it's good. It's good. So this time, you get to find out how how it works when Anakin stays a little bit more in his lane.
okay.
So here it is.
All right.
Write a story that's roughly, yep, here's the prompt. Write a story that's roughly 700 words about Anakin Skywalker finding out there's a serum treatment for his fear of sand. Keep it in the Star Wars universe. And so ChatGPT cheerily went, got it. Here's a version that keeps things within the Star Wars universe while maintaining a tone that feels authentic, but not overly grim. Oh, so helpful. So, title though. You ready for this, Jeff?
Nope, I'm not.
The title is Dune Remedy.
No, David, David. Okay, I won't do the thing. I go and do the thing. Oh my gosh. See, it depends
I
on
know you're
who
gonna
ripped
like
off
that.
who. Did Star Wars rip off Dune? Is Dune implicit in the Star Wars universe? You'll never know.
Oh, hmm.
Might
Title, Dune
I the
Remedy.
sandworm? Mhm.
Oh, yes. Let's see what Anakin Skywalker does. Look at those sandworms show up. Anakin Skywalker sat in the Jedi Temple's medical bay, arms crossed as he listened to the healer drone. The healer drone on about the properties of the serum. I genuinely thought it was the healer drone. I didn't realize it. I'm now reading it and realizing what it was actually saying. Arms crossed as he listened to the healer drone on about the properties of the serum. He was only half paying attention. The real focus of his thoughts was the small vial on the table before him, filled with a pale, shimmering liquid. We've had success treating various phobias with natural recalibration therapy, the healer was saying. Serum targets the emotional response centers, muting irrational fears while preserving a rational caution. Anakin scoffed. Irrational? You ever felt sand, Master Vonk? The Ithorian healer blinked his large eyes. I haven't walked on sandy terrain yet. You don't get it. Anakin leaned forward. It's coarse. It's rough. It gets everywhere. It's not just a nuisance. Fingers. You wash your hands, still there. Shake out your boots, surprise, more sand. It's like a flake, and my body knows it. Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, leaning casually against the wall, sighed. Ah, I still fail to see how this is more distressing than, oh, I don't know, actual warfare? Anakin gave him a flat look. At least in war, I have a lightsaber. Kenobi pinched the bridge of his nose. Force preserved me. The healer cleared his throat. In any case, this treatment should neutralize the distress response. Sand triggers in your mind. You take it within a standard week. You should be able to walk Tatooine's dunes without discomfort. Anakin hesitated, glancing at the vial again. There was a part of him, small but stubborn, that liked hating sand. He was a familiar enemy.
Oh,
There's the seed of the dark of the dark side of the force, Jeff. It's right there. It is hatred of sand. It was a familiar enemy, one he'd raged against since childhood. But if he was ever going to function normally on desert planets, maybe this was worth it. With a
oh,
final glance at Obi-Wan, who was watching him with a mix of skepticism and amusement, Anakin grabbed the
oh.
vial, popped the cap, and drank. The taste was surprisingly pleasant. A week later, the
Oh.
landing ramp lowered onto the dunes of Tatooine. A gust of hot air rushed inside,
Oh.
carrying a fine mist of golden grains with it.
Mm.
Kid took a deep breath, and then nothing. No crawling sensation on his skin, no clenching in his gut, no irrational fury at the way the sand shifted beneath his boots. He lifted a hand, let a handful of grain slip through his fingers. Master, I think it worked. Obi-Wan walked up beside him, his expression one of exaggerated awe.
Yeah.
Amazing! The Force is truly strong with you.
Mm.
Anakin ignored him. This was huge. He could walk freely without feeling like the planet itself was personally insulting him. A breeze kicked up.
Oh.
It just really captured how much the fans really think of young Anakin.
Oh.
A breeze kicked up, sending a wave of sand into his face. He spat and wiped at his mouth. Obi-Wan smirked. Still enjoying yourself? It's fine, Anakin said stiffly. A little annoying, but not the enemy of all things good. Fascinating. Anakin shot him a look. You sound disappointed. You sound disappointed. Obi-Wan chuckled. I must admit, I rather enjoyed your theatrics. It was a rare, reliable source of amusement. Anakin huffed and stepped off the ramp. crunching onto the sand. This time he focused, not just on the lack of distress, but on what that meant. The planet wasn't his enemy. It was just Tatooine. And for the first time, it felt like just another place. Maybe, he thought, this wasn't so bad after all.
I
Classic ChatGPT.
I love this. I love it so much. I am gonna give it a I think I'm going to enjoy this. It's not going to be the greatest potato I've ever had, but I'd be
Yeah,
happy to survive the potato famine on this. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 potatoes.
nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
I'd agree with it.
I I think that you're, even though I like you say back and forth, it was mostly forth from you on talking about this stuff. But I see the fruit of it, and it happens to be a rather large and interesting potato. Um, it just
Potatoes should be
proves
a
your,
fruit.
I guess, yeah, no, it should be a fruit. Um, but I just thought of something else that shouldn't be a fruit. A picture that you
Oh
sent it to,
boy.
the picture you sent me earlier.
Which
Uh,
fruit? What? What?
it was the bag
Which
of
picture?
candies that you saw, and I'm just like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh my gosh. You know, Jeff, without
uh,
saying what it is, because we have to keep this family friendly, it was very disturbing, wasn't it?
yes,
It
and
and the
on all
face.
levels,
It
on
was
all
so
levels.
happy.
Yes, I actually sent
Yeah.
it to Sammy, and so I'll I will see his reaction at some point. Oh my
Sammy, friend
gosh,
of the podcast,
friend
who
of the
hopefully has
podcast.
listened to more than one.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait for the
I
first
love it.
person to get his knife sharpening services as a result of listening to us. Like
That's right.
that, it's like the first dollar that you frame on your wall
That's right.
of your restaurant or
That's right.
whatever. Like that needs to be a thing that's preserved for all time. Um,
Yes, that's true.
but I
I just
think,
really love the part
oh
where where the healer drones on. I really love when he's just like, we've had success treating various phobias with natural recalibration therapy. I can just imagine. I never thought about this, but can you imagine how annoying getting medical care in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe would be?
I was thinking about that. Like, I wanted your take on it. Do you think that the Jedi would be more fundamentalist, and or not fundamentalist? That's the wrong word. But what do you natural, like natural remedy, like using the
Oh,
Force to deal with stuff, or
oh, now that's interesting.
or would they be like, oh, yeah, you're an alien with like different biology, then, yeah, of course you should take this medication. Um, I don't know. Maybe if we ever have a chat one day, fans can debate this issue in the great far future.
Oh my gosh. I think you might be onto something there. I think I but the thing is I genuinely don't know which way it would go.
Yeah.
I really don't. Would they be like full techno guys? Or would they just be like wary of it? Be like, oh, I don't know. There's medication. Sounds too good to be true. Like, are they are they just like are they just like full on like anti-vax guys?
Well, I mean, like, I think where the line could be drawn is anything that, like, potentially, like, because if they're trying to, like, regulate their emotions and stuff, and like meditate and
Mm,
all of that. So anything that's like mind altering, maybe they'd be super hard line on. Uh, but that,
yeah.
but that
Something
if
for your tummy aches from visiting an alien
yeah,
world and eating something you shouldn't have.
yeah, it's like, a space Pepto Bismol, chug as much of that as possible. But or maybe they just do nanobots and it's like there is no medication. It's just like little nanobots and um,
What
doing
was
all the
the
work.
book? What was the book? That one was terrifying. What was it? The Crichton one. That was a good one. It was bad. I hated it because it was too
Oh,
creepy crawly.
was that the one where they made the life form self-replicating thing?
They all well, what it was supposed to just be was just a thing that they grew stuff. Remember? All it
Yeah.
was supposed to be was like a self-replicating machine, and then
Yes.
it like came to life.
Yes.
That was that was a good book, but also was like freaky.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man, I was not prepared for how freaky it was gonna get. It's like wife, like totally is like, thank you, as he like destroys them. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That was wild. I feel like
The
Anakin Skywalker would have tried to use a lightsaber on these guys. Obi-Wan Kenobi would just be shaking his head as he like crushes them with the force. I love
Yeah,
it.
that would be I mean, I haven't read enough of the Star Wars literature to really know.
You
That
can
there could
start. I
well,
haven't
I
read the
think
full body
oh my
politic on
gosh.
Star Wars, but
I guess
pushes up now.
the one thing, and I'll get to my rating because I'm procrastinating here, but the one thing that I'd say is I'd be curious as to how it would be different from Legends versus canon, Disney canon. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like Disney canon
Disney
Star Wars
canon.
would be like fine with it, but I'd be really curious to see what George Lucas's original vision was. Um,
Yeah, without being political, I'm sure
yeah,
that there would be some level of like feeling the need to make sure that everyone agrees with the current idea of how we're supposed to handle health. I think there would be
yeah,
a little bit of that going on, but I don't think it would be necessarily the full way. Okay, I do have to say there is Star Wars out there that they've made that has characters that don't agree with everything.
yeah. What a
Got
novel
something going for
concept.
them. Yeah.
Um, and maybe if
Maybe
certain
people could
people,
disagree, and some of them are wrong.
well, maybe certain people could watch the animated shows like Clone Wars, and that there's
Yeah. Oh,
more
yes,
that's some of the best Star Wars that we've had lately. Um,
yes.
and anyway, I
Lately, didn't they finish that a few years ago?
yeah, it's been a while. I can't remember when Rebels wrapped up. That what I don't
Jeff is
know.
just reliving his glory days.
I still cannot
I remember
quite
Star
put
Wars.
my finger down as to why I like Clone. I think Clone Wars is better than Rebels. Maybe it's because there's more backstory, and so like the in is more. I don't know. I never felt like I really got attached to the
I felt
characters in
like
the
I
same way.
couldn't get into Clone Wars because it asked too much buy-in. I
Uh,
could see why someone would enjoy it, but I felt
gotcha.
like there was a lot I had to get into. It felt like I couldn't just like right now I'm reading Marvel, uh, 2015. The multiverse gets done destroyed, dude. Well, it hasn't happened yet. I haven't read that far,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I'm
one
like,
thing.
I mean, I'm
Oh.
having to read it to try and figure out what's going on. Like I'm reading like the wiki
Oh
to
yeah.
try and piece together who the heck all these people are. but like I feel like because the comics focus more on like you're following your favorite character kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have more. It's like me reading the wiki so that I'm caught up plot wise doesn't really get in the way. But like for Star Wars, it really feels like you're there for the spectacle, even for things that aren't that spectacular. Like you
Yeah.
gotta you gotta kind of just show up for it, be able to sit with it. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
one thing is that I know that even though the Dave Filoni, I think it was Dave Filoni, I can't remember honestly, the content creator guy. It might the guy
Phony
who
baloney.
Phony
Is that what
Baloney.
is? He better have something called that.
Oh my
Does
gosh.
he?
I have no idea.
That needs to be a. He should. I'm just saying. I'm just super saying.
Oh my gosh. He made Ahsoka annoying a as possible um for like the first 5 episodes, and then she had kind of this arc and whatnot throughout the show, and that she turned off some people. I'd say if
Yeah.
if you were to try again at like season 2 and then go back and watch
Mm,
season 1 knowing what Ahsoka becomes, it's a lot, it's a lot more
it helps.
I think it helps. And I think that, like, honestly, like the build up to the freaking masterpiece of the season 7, where
That's what I heard.
it's hopping in and out between stuff that's happening in the movies, and the yeah, the chills that you get when Darth Maul is like knowing what Palpatine is gonna do and is doing at that exact moment, and that he's begging Ahsoka to help him take him down. Uh,
Oof.
like, oh, it, yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway,
It was a good time.
I'm gonna give this, and probably actually it's percentage wise my same rating. I think I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. Um, the only
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's not 10 out of 10 is um I think that uh or sorry, 8 out of 10
Just
because of the banter. Like the banter was spot on.
yes.
Um I just selfishly wish that there was maybe like a little more action, like that it went a little bit
Mm,
further into like them maybe needing to
yeah.
fight someone, and that being the real reason. Like maybe a prequel scene where it's like they're gonna fight off a bad guy and they get defeated, or he escapes because he's like pocket sand, uh, space
Dude,
pocket
I
sand.
I think you're onto something. ChatGPT seems to be struggling with the actual things happening stuff. Seems to
Yes.
do pretty okay with dialogue, but it seems like the moment you need it to write about something going on,
Yeah.
it seems to be a struggle bus.
Yeah. Which I guess
Very
makes
true.
sense because it's being trained on language data, not. Mhm. Oh,
Oh,
crap, man. That's going to be an interesting thing that happens
yeah.
when AI starts to be trained on not just
Multimodal
photos.
data.
Yeah, not just like
Yeah.
where it's able to understand like a movie in visual and
Yes.
audio elements. But,
Yes.
well, I'm getting to
That
my.
will fundamentally change
Hello,
it.
puppy. Hi. Yeah, you know me. Hi. Well, I'll catch you
Well,
later,
there you
bud.
go. There was the thing. We
Yeah.
did it.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh. It was good.
Signing off.